Hi, welcome to Gene Rants. I'm Gene. Our friends on the left, well, they're at it again, talking about gun control. Whenever there's a tragedy, in this case, the Charlie Kirk shooting, they always bring up gun control again. And well, they don't seem to want to talk about that woman, the Ukrainian refugee who was killed on the train, stabbed to death by a crazy person sitting behind her. If anybody there were other people on that train, in that car, and if any one of them had had a gun, never mind several of them, that woman very probably would be alive and her attacker would be dead. They don't talk about that. But anyways, I don't want to get off on that track today. What I do want to talk about is one of the things they complain about, our liberal friends, is the so-called gun show loophole. If you buy a gun, if you go into a gun store, which I'm a gun owner, and I carry a concealed handgun, and so if you're watching this and you're thinking of doing harm to me, well, you've been warned. I have, which is, by the way, one of the ways that guns save lives. Liberals don't realize this either, that if you just have a law that allows, well, we now know it's a constitutional right. So in every state, every citizens are allowed to carry guns. So if we're talking concealed weapons, even suppose you don't carry a gun, but you live in such a state and somebody wants to attack you, that person, if enough people, you need reach a certain critical mass, that if enough people own guns to the point where, and you don't have these gun safe zones, that the people who want to hurt somebody, they choose those zones deliberately because they know very probably no one's going to have a gun there except them. And so if you have a law that allows carrying guns and enough people do carry guns, all you need is one or two people to be successfully defended, by a gun. And then if you are a criminal, if you are intent on, you would like to do harm to somebody, but you know there's a good chance that person that you want to hurt may be armed, that's going to dissuade you, even if that person doesn't have a gun. If you do have a gun, I mean, you can try this if you don't have one, but much better, you don't want somebody calling your bluff. But if you do have a gun, if somebody looks like they're going to do you harm, if you simply say, I am armed, I have a gun, if you touch me, I will defend myself. That should be enough to dissuade somebody. So you're preventing, and these gun control zealots, they don't consider that. They don't, if you just merely say, I have a gun and I will defend myself, well, a gun has saved a life. And if you don't have a gun and you bluff and count on whether that person who wants to hurt you will take a chance, well, again, the gun didn't save you because you don't have one, but that gun law that the guns are allowed, that did save you. And that brings us now to schools. Schools, there are last time I checked or I read the article, 4,000 schools have a sign in front of the school. We know we've had these school shootings. 4,000 and probably more by now have signs in front of the school saying we allow our teachers to carry guns. Enter at your own risk, or they will defend, whatever. The basic idea, they put a sign out to say that teachers may be armed, and none of those 4,000 schools has had a school shooting. Obviously, if you know there's a chance somebody's going to be armed. In fact, an idea I actually wrote an article on this that was in American Thinker. I occasionally write. I have an article right now, a new one up actually. You can see it, AmericanThinker.com. But said, just as for fires, every school has one or more fire extinguishers on each floor. So even if you don't want teachers carrying guns, why not, where those fire extinguishers are, have gun safes with combinations that only the teachers know? Maybe change the combination every day, so it's always a new combination. The teacher gets the combination. And if there's an emergency, have, I mean, even better, every classroom have a gun locker with a, with an AR-15 in it. It's just in there, so the teacher is not carrying it, and that's what these the people, these school shooters, they seem to favor rifles, same kind of rifle. So then you would have one. Imagine if that were in every classroom. So there's a shooter, somebody hears so the teacher in the room has quick access to a gun, but the teacher in the classroom next door on either side, everybody on the floor would have access to guns, and they could immediately take here's a number. I have a gun safe myself at home. I have another gun I don't carry by my bed in a gun safe, fully loaded, ready to go. It's in a gun safe. I just push 4 buttons very quickly. It pops open and the gun's right there. I can defend myself. If somebody breaks into my home while I'm in bed. So that would be a good solution too. But the one I want to talk about today is another thing liberals are all up, gun controllers are up in arms about, is the so-called gun show loophole. In other words, we have, if you're watching this from overseas, I know I had a Brit watching. I got a comment from a Brit. So overseas, they have, if you cannot just walk into a gun store and buy a gun. I bought several, and you have to, there's no waiting period. There's a couple of places that tried to enact waiting periods, like 5-day or 1-month waiting periods, or limit how many guns you can buy. I think those were all struck down. But the point is, where I am in Tennessee, which is very gun friendly, there's a federal law of background check. I have to fill out a form, and they do a quick background check before I can buy the gun. But gun shows do not have that requirement. The gun shows are shows like antique shows or anything else, where they have their guns, and it's private citizens, and I guess they pay a fee or pay a commission or whatever, and they have all guns and laid out on tables, and you can go, you can look at guns just like you would buy an antique or homemade pies or something. Very same thing, and there is no background check, so they're up in arms about that. So there are a couple. Now we're getting to the video that I want to share today, which is a couple of liberal gun control zealots, I call them, actually go to a gun store and try to buy, to show how easy it is to buy a gun at a gun show. I'm just going to show you the video. It's self-explanatory. So watch.
Hey, sir, could you please sell us this AR-15?
Yeah.
Despite, who or what we plan to obliterate with it. And don't ask questions, okay? Because we just want to prove to our friends how easy it is to buy a high-capacity rifle.
Absolutely.
All right, man.
$3,000.
What? I'm sorry?
That's $3,000.
No, not for this. No,
No. At Gunther's, it's $1,500.
Oh, this ain't Gunther's.
Fine, it's fine. We'll buy it and we'll return it.
All sales are final.
Come on.
I'll show you what's final, you redneck son of a bitch. I will burn you alive like the last bitch who crossed me.
Okay, all right, Dee. That's not getting us anywhere, okay? She's hot.
I went hot real fast. It happened.
Listen, I want this gun, pal. Okay, I want it because it's easy to buy a gun. And I need to prove that to some people. So give me the gun at a fair price and do it now.
4,000.
Shit.
4,000. Really? I tell you what, how about I just take it, huh? Because I'm a maniac with a gun, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Obviously, what you just saw was a satire. That was obviously a satire, but a very good one, and it does make a point that I was making earlier, that you don't want to. Well, I can't think of. Gun stores have been broken into in the middle of the night, but who walks into a gun store and tries to hold up the place? I mean, that's got to be the last place. So you get the idea. That's the main point that I was making, not just about gun shows, but where somebody knows it's likely that people are going to be armed, they will not rob. They won't commit a crime, not even just a gun crime. They'd have to be the idiots to do that. In fact, I have a photo. I'm not going to dig it up. You can find them on the internet, but it's a Walmart or something, one of these department stores, and open carry, and you have, I guess it's Texas, someplace like that, and they have they have guns slung over their shoulders. So somebody wants to do harm, you walk into that store, and you're going to see. I mean, there had to be I don't know, dozen people, just a lot of people. Everybody had a gun, and they are all visible. If you are, I don't care how hardened a criminal you are, unless you're a suicide bomber or something, that's completely different. But in case you'd be using a bomb, or if you're suicidal and you want to be killed and take some people with you, that's one thing. But otherwise, you're intent on doing harm or robbing a place, and you walk in and you see guns. You see several people, each with a gun, a loaded gun, slung over their shoulder. Would you try to rob that place? Well, if you are, then I guess you deserve a Darwin Award, which is really, because that more than qualifies you. Oh, by the way, if you don't know what a Darwin Award is, you can look it up on the internet. There's a website for it, or there used to be, but it's people who are killed by their own stupidity, like people who die. So they say the idea is that, so Darwinism, survival of people that are stupid get eliminated. In other words, the gene pool is improved by idiots being removed from the gene pool by doing stupid things to themselves. I don't have a specific example, but it will be, let's say, somebody dealing with electricity and bare wires while standing in a puddle or something, or in a rainstorm, just something stupid. So that's what a Darwin. So if you're dumb enough to walk into a place where you think to do harm, physical harm, or rob a place where where you can be reasonably sure, or the chances are odd, I would say over 50%. That, I mean, I wouldn't do it anyhow, but I would think if you're a criminal, if there's only a 25% or a 10% chance that somebody will be armed, I mean, why do it? Is your life. Actually, I have a little sign. This is what I'm talking about. Just having just a law. You don't need the gun. I have a little emblem. It's on my back door, my patio door, and it's by my front door, and it says the person inside this house is armed. And it says the person inside this house is armed, something like that. I don't remember exactly, but the main point is that the person inside this. The homeowner is armed, and there is nothing in this house that is worth your life. Very simple. There is nothing in your house that is worth your life. The owner is armed. Maybe I'm home. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I can't get a gun. Maybe I'm not close to a gun. Is it worth your life? And I tell them there's nothing. I don't have anything. I don't have the Hope Diamond in here. There's nothing that is worth risking your life for. So I would say that would apply other places. If you have, if there's only a 10% chance that you could be killed, why risk it? What is there? What physical, unless you're talking about, Fort Knox or something, what is there that is worth your life? So I guess unless there was something else, I can't remember. Just give me a second, old guy, see if I can remember the other thing, because I don't take notes, if you notice that. Oh, and somebody told me, choose a different background, because the background to this is so, this is my home office, okay? That's my shelf with some stuff on it, and I don't have time to do a professional video. That's why these are kind of haphazard, and as I've admitted in the past, and I kind of wander a little bit. I don't do notes. I don't prepare. If I see an interesting video while I'm working in my home office, I will download that video to include it. But I don't have time. I'm working right now. This is my working day. I'm just taking a few minutes to make this video, and it'll be whatever it is. It'll take whatever time it does. As you notice, I speak continuously. There'll be no fancy music, no fancy editing, no quick, cuts for those of you younger people who don't, who have maybe the attention span of a pencil eraser, and you can't stand to watch the same shot for more than 5 seconds. Well, you're going to be disappointed watching this. But if you like great great wit and wisdom, that's different. If you like great wit and wisdom, and you don't need the angle, the camera shot to change every 2 seconds, this is the place. Everybody is welcome, pro or con. Your comments are welcome in the comment section below the video. Share this video with anyone you think would benefit from it. But most of all, come back and see me again. I'd love to see all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, and and here's the last point I think that I wanted to make. Just thought of it. I told you about the sign in front of my, my front door. The owner is armed. Nothing in will protect and defend himself and his property. Nothing in here worth your life. If just the law, even if you don't own a gun and you live in a high crime area, get one of those signs and let at least there's a chance that the thief or whatever, the burglar, will see that sign and not want to take a chance of whether that person may be bluffing and not really have a gun. So again, but the important thing is you have to have that law. I mean, if you have a law, if there is no law allowing people to, have the guns, then then the sign is meaningless, because the crook will know that it's meaningless. But anyways, that's, now that I think of it, not relevant anyways in this country, because you are allowed, everybody, there's a constitutional right. It's a Second Amendment, as other people say. We have a Bill of Rights, if you're overseas and don't know. It was, the Constitution originally did not have a Bill of Rights, and people would, enough Americans would not vote for to enact the Constitution unless there included a Bill of Rights. So immediately, and there was a promise that it would. So immediately upon passage of the Constitution, 10 amendments were, because there's an allowance, there's provision for amending the Constitution. So the Constitution was amended immediately, 10 amendments. We call it the Bill of Rights. And the Second Amendment is the right to keep and bear arms. And as people have said wisely, that the Second Amendment, the purpose of the Second Amendment is to protect the other 9. So there you go. Okay, now that's it for sure. Thanks for stopping by. If you could subscribe, that would really be great. Your comments always welcome in the comment section below the video. Share this video with anyone you think would benefit from it. But did I say subscribe? Well, subscribe. It's always worth saying again. And most of all, come back and see me again. I'd love to see all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.